as you can tell, I have got myself a gravel bike, which is fantastic news. The bad news was it was meant to come about 5 days ago, and this video was meant to be me going up to the Gralloch to race the UCI event, but Customs had other ideas. Basically, they held the bike, import tax and that. Just a massive miscommunication between DHL and Customs meant that I wasn't able to go and collect the bike, and I missed the Gralloch, which I was gutted about, but it is what it is. These things happen. And at least now I have a new gravel bike ready to go and ride on days like today. And the weather is, yeah, it's looking good. If you didn't know, I actually got into cycling through gravel. Gravel bike was the first thing I ever picked up. I didn't like the idea of riding on the road, so I got a gravel bike and just tanned like canal paths and a couple of gravel trails near me. And then eventually at some point I became a road merchant. It depends how long you've been following along. I did used to do gravel videos like Dirty Reaver and stuff like that. But today we are back in the game because we have got ourselves the Van Rysel GCR. Yeah, so this model is the Van Rysel GCR. This is their current most premium offering when it comes to gravel. I don't actually think they sell this spec in the UK. This has been imported from France, hence the issues at Customs. Yeah, it's their current most premium option. I'm pretty sure they have something in the works for the next year, but yeah, so we're running SRAM Force Axis, which is their 1x group set for gravel basically, I think. Don't necessarily know what the difference between the road group sets are. I think maybe it's just the clutch mechanism, so the chain doesn't drop as much on the bumpy stuff. The SRAM Explore is set on the back now. This is just a massive dinner plate, and we've got the 40-tooth chainring on the front as well. It's a full carbon spec frame, carbon fork, carbon wheels. Pretty light as well. I think it's just over 8 kilograms, but it feels super light. As stock, it comes with 40mm Conti Terra Kings, I think they are. I've never tried them before, I'm sure they're great, but I wanted something a little more rugged for the gravel near me because it ain't really gravel, it's just loose rocks. So what I've done is stick the Pirelli Cinturato Gravel M's. These are 45mm, absolute monster truck tyres basically. The catch here is I'm pretty sure the clearance only allows, or the recommended clearance is about 42mm. So what I've had to do is I've stuck the 45s on, and if you pump them up to like max capacity PSI wise, there's a bit of rubbing on the underframe, on the fork, sorry. But if you're running them at lower pressures like 30, 40 PSI, there's a little bit of clearance, and I think it's enough to pass for the type of riding that I'm going to be doing. I didn't have any issues. The frame is like a raw carbon, kind of similar to my RCR Pro, except the RCR Pro is more of a matte finish. This is like a glossy thing. It's got a nice shimmer to it, and in the sun, it looks legit. And yeah, today we're going to take it out on a spin on some of the old trails that I used to ride on when I first started and see how much easier it is, or maybe not. Right, we've made it out. I am just tampering with the fit and the setup at the minute. Just things like the seat height, the seat angle, the angle of the bars and that, because obviously I built it myself just before and it wasn't feeling right out the bat. I think I'd set it up a bit wrong. Got about 10 kilometers on road to get to the canal paths, and then we do about 20k on the canals, and then we get to a place called Middlewood Way, which is like an old train track that they've converted to just a gravel path, and then we go to Mac Forest, which is actual like mountain bike trails and stuff like that, which should be beautiful at the minute as well. Should be dry as a bone. It's going to be pretty quick at the moment, which I'm not sure if that's good for me or not. This being my first ride on the gravel stuff in a while, but I'm going to take it pretty easy, I reckon. Couple things to get used to on the bike as well. This is a European model, so we're running Euro brakes at the minute, which is basically just the opposite to UK bikes. So I don't think this bike is actually available in the UK, or at least this specific model. We're running SRAM, which I haven't used in a long time. The hoods and that at the minute feel a bit alien, feels just bigger and bulkier compared to the Shimano Ultegra that I'm on. But this is SRAM Force, so I'm sure I'll get used to it pretty quick. It's going to be a really good one. This is a nice change actually. No cars to contend with, just people and geese. People and geese. The difference 45mm tyres make is just ridiculous. I've got them run down at about, I don't know, 20 psi, 25 psi, and it's so smooth, even on like the rougher, bumpy stuff. It's very welcomed. Man, this is fun. I think it'll be interesting getting back into gravel stuff at this stage of my cycling journey now, because when I first started doing gravel, well, I got my first bike was a gravel bike, so this is the first sort of cycling I was doing, and it used to be pretty hard, so I was obviously new to it, weak as fuck on the bike, no legs, no like handling skills or anything, didn't know what I was doing, whereas now, a little bit stronger, know a little bit more what I'm doing, I say. So it should be quite cool coming back to these trails and that, and just being a bit more confident on them, because starting out I was, yeah, it's sketchy when you're starting out on gravel. Already been like little rampy bits on the canal that I used to really struggle to get up back in the day, whereas now I just breezed up it like it's a piece of piss really. Look man, it's nice, isn't it? It's not the nicest canal in the world, there's a lot of flies and shit about. The water looks like it's, yeah, could be nicer, but it's not too bad. Peaceful. After 3 tampers with the bike, we're feeling pretty locked in now. Seat position's good, the reach is pretty spot on. See how we get on some actual gravel. Yeah mate, this is beautiful. It's so hot as well today. Good heat training in it, and also get a tan as well whilst I'm at it. Marple Aqueduct, pretty mad place actually this. Coming into Marple now, this is where I grew up. So my mum and dad moved when I was like 2, and I spent all my life growing up here basically until I moved out at 22 or whenever it was, or for uni actually a bit before that. I'm a little stuck. Hello. A little duckling trying to eat my shoe. perfect gravel around here. It's 16 kilometers, it's flat, and it's like hard packed, perfect gravel. Don't get that too much around here. Have a look. Bike is feeling impeccable, I have to say. This is my first go out on a carbon gravel bike. Big difference, massive difference. And I think with the stiff frame, but then the big fat tyres with like 20 psi in, it's so smooth. Mechanical gearing as well is what I had on my last bike. This one's got electronic SRAM Force axis, which is SRAM's like gravel bike gearing. I think it's the Explore one. I'm not an expert in SRAM, to be honest, but it really pings when you get into gear. There's loads of higher gears as well, so climbing should be pretty simple. Like I said, I started off doing gravel riding to begin with. I'm not sure at what point I transitioned to become a road merchant, especially when the riding like this is so nice. Lack of cars, mate, I can't emphasize enough how much less stress I feel doing this type of riding than road. Honestly, I love road cycling, but where I have to go to get to nice roads from mine is like main roads and that, and fills me with dread and just stress cycling on them. So having no cars on stuff like this is a bit of a dream, actually. Coming up to 34 kilometers in just over an hour and a half. We are on the Middlewood Way. Like I said before, this is 16 kilometers of flat, fast rolling gravel. The perfect terrain to get back into the gravel stuff. And then we're going to stop for a brew maybe before we go into Mac Forest. Honestly, I'm so excited to get back there. I haven't been there in so long. Right, we are at the end of Middlewood Way in Macclesfield. We've now got quite a lot of climbing and it's quite steep, if I remember rightly, to get up to the forest. Saying 5.8 kilometres of climbing at 6%, but I reckon with this dinner plate on the back, should be all right. Used to struggle quite a lot up here, so I'm interested to see how we go. 15%, shit, this is hard. 16. Oh, Jesus. This is the definition of climbing doesn't get easier, you just get quicker. Heart rate's still at high 170s. I'm just getting up here a lot quicker than I used to. Oh, Christ. This thing is a slug in its current form on the road. Low pressure, fat tyres. I feel like a tractor on the roads. Charity Lane, horrendous. Oh, man, that was tough. But we've made it to the top of the forest now, and there's 2 paths down into the main, like, actual dirt area. So there's one on the left. I'm calling that more MTB, full sus mountain bike territory. There's just massive boulders and big slabs of rock, and on the right there's like a dirt path. Well, grass and mud and that. It's normally pretty sloppy because it's been so dry lately. It looks pretty good actually, it's dry as a bone. Such a nice change of pace this as well. I feel like with the road cycling and that, I'm obviously getting so into it that I'm starting to care more about the numbers and the power and the speed and all that sort of stuff, which I'm not necessarily sure I want to do too much. I don't want to get overly obsessed with that because at the minute I just enjoy riding the bike for the fun of it, and this is the actual definition of that. Like, it's so nice out here. But there we are. Peaceful, no cars. Yeah, I'm going to have to incorporate a little more off-roady gravel stuff over the summer for sure, especially whilst the weather's paying. Yeah, this is more like it. How I've not got a puncture or broken the bike as well is madness. Absolute crazy how the tech holds up on, I mean, more than sketchy terrain that was. That's just mountain bike. Yes, we are on the good stuff now. Have a gander at this. Oh, sold. I'm a gravel rider now. This is it. We're back in the game. What a bike, what a day, what a ride. Oh God, I could do with a Coke though. Mouth is so dry. Right, we've got one more big gravel descent, and then we are landing at a pub, and I'm going to go and have a sit down and get myself a nice cold beverage because it is boiling. Feeling a little bit dehydrated at the minute. Perfect. I am severely lacking in confidence on them gravel descents. I don't know how much of that is down to the terrain because I'm calling it gravel, but it's just big loose rocks, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are more likely to slide out on the corners on that kind of stuff compared to flat pack, compact gravel. But yeah, I don't know, I lacked any kind of confidence and conviction on them descents, especially compared to the tarmac. I've reached the point on the road where I'm pretty confident at descending now. I can corner relatively well. Not on the brakes and that when I'm going down hills, but yeah, that was different going down there. Just all I could think about was sliding out on the corner, and obviously coming off on that sort of terrain ain't going to be good for the skin. Anyway, about 53 kilometres in now. I've been out for a while, just plodding along. About 20k home. And then we're going to go and clean the bike because it's very, very dusty.
When you are near, spring is everywhere. We dance until the sun is down and stars are in your eyes. Spring is here, I feel it everywhere. You're so near, and love is in the air.
And we're done. Good as new.